Hello everyone, welcome to the NewsBrowse News broadcast. NHK reports that Russian President Vladimir Putin has reiterated Russia's intention to continue its invasion of Ukraine. Simultaneously, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelenskyy emphasized his country's commitment to ongoing operations to counter the offensive, indicating the protracted nature of the conflict. On Tuesday, Russian Chief of Staff Valery Gerasimov claimed the liberation of the Luhansk People's Republic was complete, stating Russian forces were advancing, with units nearing Sloviansk and Donetsk. Putin, addressing local government representatives, urged national unity to achieve the goals of what he calls the special military operation. However, he also acknowledged that restoration and reconstruction in Russia's Kursk region, where Ukrainian cross-border incursions were repelled, were not progressing as expected, necessitating measures to encourage residents' return. Meanwhile, Zelenskyy stated on social media that Ukraine's armed forces clearly understand Russia's plans and priorities, vowing to counter them. Lebanese armed group Hezbollah confirmed on April 24 that it launched rockets and attacked drones toward northern Israel. The group accused the Israeli military of violating a U.S.-brokered ceasefire agreement. This comes as Israel's military had earlier reported that the Iran-backed Hezbollah fired several rockets at Israeli troops operating in southern Lebanon, deeming this a blatant breach of the same ceasefire. It remains unclear if both sides are referring to the same incident. Despite the renewed hostilities, Israel and the Lebanese government are scheduled to hold talks in Washington, D.C. on April 23 following mediation efforts by the United States. The initial 10-day ceasefire, announced by U.S. President Donald Trump on April 16, was intended to de-escalate tensions. Israel maintains its forces in southern Lebanon, citing the need for a buffer zone to prevent attacks on its northern territories, while Hezbollah's statement claims Israel violated the agreement by attacking Lebanese civilians and destroying homes. This report is from Zio Sabid, Dizajusur Soe. UPI reports that China is intensifying a targeted pressure campaign against Japan amidst rising tensions in the Taiwan Strait and East China Sea, signaling potential physical confrontation. This strategy appears to focus on Japan rather than the United States, as Tokyo expands its military posture under Prime Minister Sanae Takaichi. A recent transit by the Japanese destroyer Ikazuchi through the Taiwan Strait prompted an unusually forceful response from China, involving J-20 stealth fighters and CH-4 attack drones that reportedly tracked the vessel within strike range. Beijing also increased patrols near the disputed Senkaku Islands and imposed export restrictions on critical dual-use materials. Japan is countering by deploying combat units to the Balikatan 2026 exercises and fortifying its southwestern island chain, placing parts of mainland China within operational range. Analysts suggest China aims to test the U.S.-Japan alliance indirectly and stir Japanese domestic concerns, highlighting a broader regional security shift with implications for South Korea. People's Daily Online reports that a Chinese lunar exploration team is planning research into constructing a greenhouse on the lunar surface. According to Wang Qing, a senior space engineer with the China National Space Administration, CNSA, this greenhouse would utilize lunar surface construction technologies to help rovers and robots withstand the moon's harsh 14-day-long night, where temperatures can plummet to -200 degrees Celsius. Wang, also deputy chief designer of the Chang AZ-6 mission, emphasized the utility of such a structure for future long-term lunar stays. The announcement follows significant scientific breakthroughs made by Chinese scientists using samples returned by the Chang AZ-6 probe on June 25, 2024. These 1,935.3 grams of samples from the lunar far side have revealed its evolutionary history. Furthermore, the Chang AZ-6 mission successfully fostered international cooperation, carrying payloads from Pakistan, France, the European Space Agency, and Italy, all achieving exploration results beyond expectations. Hanwha Group, a South Korean conglomerate, announced Wednesday that it has forged significant partnerships with American defense companies at the Sea Air Space 2026 exposition held in National Harbor, Maryland. These collaborations focus on enhancing naval and rocket systems development. Hanwha Ocean, the group's shipbuilding affiliate, signed a Memorandum of Understanding (OUU) with Leidos Gibbs and Cox, a prominent U.S. naval design firm. This partnership aims to strengthen shipbuilding capabilities for the U.S. Navy and allied forces through cooperation on vessel designs, next-generation ship development, and leveraging production bases in both countries. Separately, Hanwha Aerospace Co. entered into an MOU with Northrop Grumman to develop a first-stage solid-fuel rocket for the Ares missile system, a ground-launched long-range missile. Hanwha Aerospace will contribute to the early-stage development of the propulsion unit for this advanced system, as reported by Yonhap News Agency. That's all for this video. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video.